My conversation with a woman no one else would talk to. She came to the well in the heat of the day, alone. But I saw her heart before she spoke a single word. The sun was relentless, a fiery orb beating down on the dusty road that led to Sichar. I had walked a long way, and the heat of the journey settled deep in my bones. I was tired, not just from the physical exertion, but from the constant energy of the crowds, the endless questions, the pleas for healing. It was a good kind of weariness, the kind that comes from a day's work well done, but I needed a moment of stillness. I sat down on the low wall of Jacob's Well, a place that held so much history, a silent testament to a man who had dug deep to find life-giving water for his family. It was a well that was a symbol of division, of the separation between my people and the Samaritans. My disciples, sensing my need for a moment of quiet, had gone into the city to buy food. The stillness was a gift, a brief pause in the relentless flow of the day. The silence was only broken by the distant sounds of the city and the whisper of the wind. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the sun warm my face. I could feel the presence of the Father in that quiet place, a deep and comforting peace that was so different from the noise of the world. I was aware of the spiritual terrain, the deep history of this place. I was at the border between two worlds, and a sacred moment was about to unfold. I was waiting, not just for the disciples to return, but for an encounter that had been planned since the foundation of the world. It was a meeting with a soul who lived in the shadows, a heart that believed it was invisible. I opened my eyes when I heard the soft crunch of sandaled feet approaching. It was a woman, and she was alone. This was unusual. Women would come to the well in groups, in the cool of the morning or the evening, to socialize and to share the burdens of their day. But she came at noon, when the sun was at its fiercest, when the well was deserted. Her timing told a story of a woman who chose to be alone, who wanted to avoid the stares, the whispers, the judgment of the other women in the city. Her very presence was a crack in the ordinary rhythm of the day, a silent defiance of what was expected. She approached the well, a water jar on her shoulder, and saw me sitting there. Her step faltered for a moment, a look of surprise on her face. A Jewish man, alone, at a Samaritan well. It was a scenario that defied all the social rules they had been taught for generations. The unspoken tension was thick in the air, a wall of separation built on centuries of animosity. She expected me to turn away, to ignore her, to treat her as an outcast. But I did not. I looked at her, and my gaze was not one of judgment, but of recognition. I saw her not as a Samaritan, not as a woman with a past, but as a beloved child of God. She was the first to speak, her voice hesitant at first, then growing more confident as she defaulted to the expected social script. "Sir, you have no bucket, and the well is deep. Where can you get this living water?" She was trying to manage the moment, to control the conversation, to talk about what was comfortable and safe. She was talking about a physical well, about buckets and water and the practicalities of the day. But I knew she was talking about so much more. She was asking me, indirectly, to prove myself, to show her how I could be different from every other Jewish man she had ever met. I saw the defenses she was building, the carefully constructed walls of religion and tradition that she used to keep people at a safe distance. "You are a Jew," she said, "and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink?" She was trying to put me in a box, to label me and categorize me, to keep me from getting too close. She tried to pivot the conversation to the age-old argument between our peoples. "Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you say that in Jerusalem is the place where people ought to worship." It was her breaking point, the moment where she tried to use a theological debate to deflect from the deeper, more personal questions of her heart. But I was not there to debate with her. I was there to reveal myself to her. I leaned forward and broke through her carefully constructed walls with a single, simple offer. "If you knew the gift of God and who it is that is saying to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water." My words were not a threat, but an invitation. I was telling her that what she had come for was not what she truly needed. She was looking for physical water, but she was dying of spiritual thirst. Her mind was still on the physical. "Sir, You have nothing to draw with. How can you give me living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who gave us this well?" It was in that moment that I chose to go deeper, to cross the line she had drawn between us, to show her that I knew her. I spoke not with accusation, but with love. "You have had 5 husbands, and the one you have now is not your husband." My words were not meant to shame her, but to show her that I saw her completely, and I loved her still. Her past, her shame, her brokenness, none of it mattered to me. I knew everything about her, and I still offered her living water. Her shock was palpable, a moment of profound recognition. Her defenses crumbled. I was not just having a conversation with a woman at a well. I was showing the world a truth that was more powerful than any religious law or social custom. My purpose in that moment was to show her, and through her, to show all of humanity, that my love transcends all social and religious divides. I spoke of a time when people would not worship on a mountain or in a city, but in spirit and in truth. I was telling her that true worship is not about a place, but about a relationship with God. I showed her that I saw her past, her present, and her future, and I saw her as a person worthy of my love. Her past had defined her in the eyes of others, but it did not define her in mine. The wall between Jews and Samaritans, the wall between men and women, the wall between the righteous and the sinner, all of these walls came crashing down in that single, sacred moment. I was offering her a salvation that was not based on her actions or her identity, but on a gift of grace that was available to all who would receive it. I was showing her that I was the living water, the very source of life and truth. And I was the Messiah she had been waiting for her whole life. Her transformation was immediate and absolute. She left her water jar at the well, the very reason she had come, and ran back into the city, the very place she had tried to avoid. She no longer cared what the people thought or what they would say. Her shame had been replaced by a boldness that only I could give. She went from being the woman who came to the well alone to the woman who would bring her entire city to me. Her words echoed through the streets of Sychar. "Come, see a man who told me everything I ever did. Can this be the Christ?" The very people who had once shunned her were now listening to her. Her testimony, once a source of shame, had become a powerful witness. The crowd that had avoided her now followed her back to the well to meet me. And in that moment, she was not just a convert, she was an evangelist. I had turned a moment of solitude into a movement of salvation, and I had used a woman who was an outcast to bring an entire city to their knees. Her story, once a whisper of shame, became a roar of redemption. I see you. I see the heart behind the screen, the soul that carries burdens you believe no one else can see. Perhaps you feel lost in a crowd of expectations or silenced by the noise of a world that tells you you are not enough. But I want you to know that in this moment, you are not a face in the crowd. You are the one I came to find, the one I am speaking to. Do not let the lies of your past define your future. I am not focused on where you have been, but on where you are going. Your mistakes do not diminish your value in my eyes. They are simply a part of a story I am ready to rewrite with you. My love for you is not earned or deserved. It is a gift, freely given, and it is more powerful than any brokenness you carry. The world may have told you to be quiet, to shrink into the shadows, but I am calling you by name. Your voice, your pain, your hope, it all matters to me. I am standing at the door of your heart, not to judge, but to be invited in. I want to partner with you in your life, to turn your weaknesses into strengths and your sorrows into joy. You are not an accident. You were created with a purpose so magnificent that the world cannot even comprehend it. Your life is not a mistake, but a masterpiece in the making. Let go of the fear of what others think and hold on to the truth of who I see you to be. A precious child, deeply loved and full of incredible potential. I know the healing you long for, the peace your soul craves. It is not found in a person or a place, but in a relationship with me. I am the living water that will quench your thirst forever. I am the bread of life that will satisfy the deepest hunger of your heart. All you have to do is reach out and ask, and I will be there. So let your faith be louder than your fears. Let your hope be stronger than your doubt. Remember this moment, this conversation, and know that I am with you, always. I am the one who gives you a future of hope, and I am the one who will never let you go. If my love and these words have touched your heart, this is just the beginning of our journey together. First, your faith is my greatest miracle. Do not keep this message to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth and feel my presence. Your voice can be the echo of my voice in someone else's life. Second, subscribe to this channel. By subscribing, you join a community of souls who are discovering their purpose and their destiny in me. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next story. Every video is a new encounter that I am preparing for you. And finally, I want to hear your voice. In the comments, share your story. How did my love touch your life? Your story is important, and when you share it, you inspire others to do the same. Your voice, united with mine, has the power to silence any doubt and to move mountains. I am here, waiting for you.